Today we're going to start talking about annotating text in science. So, when we talk about an annotation, there's a few things that we need to not be afraid to do when we're given a paper with some type of passage or reading. And the first is write in the margins. This is where you could put notes, this is where you could put questions, anything you're unsure of. Underline and circle keywords and phrases. Mark up that paper. For annotating anything, you should be underlining and circling and writing notes. And the third thing that you should do is question whatever you read. Does it make sense or not? If you feel like you're reading something and you're not really sure if that's a true thing or not, it's okay to question it and then do the research to figure it out. So there's a few steps. So step 1 is to scan the entire document. Just give it a quick scan. The second step would be to underline any topic sentences. The third is connect related ideas with arrows. The fourth would be circle anything that you don't understand, both words and phrases. Number 5, write notes in the margins anytime the author writes something you connect with personally. Even if it's a distant connection, if it reminds you of something on a personal level, and then you write that into the margin, you'll be more prone to remember that in the future. And number 6, place a box around any term that emphasizes scientific language, even if you aren't sure what that word means. So if you don't actually know what the word means, but you know that this is a good science word and would help you with your science language, place a box around that term. That's something that we need to look up later so that we can maybe add that to our own vocabulary. So step 1, like we said, is scan the document you're annotating. So if you're going into a document, the first thing you want to look for, are there questions after the text? If there are, we want to make sure that we read those first so you can have an idea of what to look for when you're reading the text. Another thing you want to look for is a thesis. This usually appears at the end of the introductory paragraph of a paper, and it offers a summary of the main point or the claim of the essay or the research paper. So first, scan the document you're going to annotate. Look for questions so that you can read them first. Then go in and read the first paragraph, and within that, you should be able to find the big idea or the thesis, and then you may be able to underline that. The second step was underline any topic sentences or phrases that express the main idea for that paragraph. So usually within the first section of a paragraph, there's a topic sentence, and that tells you what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. Now, in this, it says that you should never underline more than 5 words. If the sentence is a little bit longer than 5 words, that's okay. If only parts of the sentence are applicable, only use those 5 words. Write in the margin next to the underlines the summary of the paragraph or the idea being expressed. You then writing it again in the margins reiterates that idea in your head so that you're more prone to remember it when you go to answer the questions. Connect any related ideas by drawing arrows from one to another. So I might see something in paragraph 1, and it kind of connects to something in paragraph 3. So something I might want to do is draw an arrow so that I know how they're connected with a quick couple words about why they're connected. If you encounter an idea, word, or phrase that you don't understand, just circle it and put a question mark in it. In the margin, this then indicates an area of confusion, so then you can write the question within the margin. So, in the sentence below, it says, depending on the outcome of the assessment, the Commission recommends to WHO which formerly endemic countries should be declared free of transmission. So, this person then would have circled this WHO right here. And then they said, what does it mean? Who is this who? Because this is clearly an acronym for another group or organization. So we want to circle it, we want to put a question mark, and then we want to figure that out later. So we want to put any questions in the margin. Anytime an author makes a statement that you can connect with on a personal level, make sure that you annotate that in the margin. A quick line and then to your personal story of how it connects to you can really help you to remember what you're reading. So in this one it says, guinea worm disease incapacitates victims for extended periods of time, making them unable to work or grow enough food to feed their families or attend school. So this then person was able to relate this to their own personal life by saying, my dad was sick for a while and couldn't work, and it was really hard on our family. So this makes it a lot easier then for this person to remember how this specific disease is affecting other families. So mark up your paper. It should look something like this. Make sure that you're making those personal connections. And the last thing, place a box around any term or phrase that emphasizes science language. So these could be words that you're not familiar with, and those are the ones that you're going to want to define. But in this sentence, it says guinea worm disease is set to become the second human disease in history after smallpox to be eradicated. So I might put a box around this word eradicated. Eradicated equals to put an end to or destroy. So make sure that this box goes around any term that really emphasizes scientific language. And if you don't know what it means, make sure that you define that within the margins. To summarize, you're going to identify the big idea, underline topic sentences, connect ideas with arrows, ask questions, add personal notes along the margins, and define any technical words. When you're done with this video, you're going to be going up front and starting with a passage. If you're done with the video early, you may begin reading the passage now and annotating.